It's time to get in the flow
with Pastor Latiska Powell. Restoring the broken, torn, and seem to be forgotten people of God. Freedom to see yourself differently. Liberating you to become who you are. Authentic. Opulence. Operating in the image of God. Wealthy. Born to live. Let's get in the flow. Come spend the next 30 minutes. Get in the flow. In the flow. The flow.
Hello, I am so excited that you guys came to join me in the flow today. I have another amazing guest, Miss Tina Wynn, who is a recovery coach. Her story is going to amaze you. I love the fact that she is authentically herself, and through her being authentic, she's helping other young ladies come into the reality of who they are. Tina, come on and join us in the studio.
Hi, guys.
Tina, thank you for joining us in the flow. Tell me about you being.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. You know, you are my girl. You know, we do a lot of collabs together. We're going to be doing a lot of collaborations together. So you inspire me with your podcast.
Yes.
You see me. Look, you see me. Because you are so authentically,
that's
authentically yourself. You know, just the way that you say you see me. It's like, I am present. I am here, and I am meant to be seen and heard. Yes, you see me. So tell us a little bit about your background as far as going in and out of rehabs, and what kind of process did you have to go through as far as renewing your mind to get you where you are right now?
So being an intellect, you know, I felt as if, which it is, mind over matter, that I could control it all on my own. And I had to keep going through it because I wasn't learning the lesson. I wasn't seeing myself in the situation. I was seeing the behaviors. I was seeing the addiction as a choice. I wasn't seeing that Tina was the choice. Tina was making the choice. Tina was in control of why I was going back and forth with self.
Okay. And have you tapped into why you were going back and forth into it? Like, was it you resisting the changes that were going to be inevitable anyway? You were going to go on and make that shift anyway? Or was it just you were just so comfortable in that space? I feel like
I went back. No, it was never a comfortable state. It was more needing understanding, needing to gain knowledge, needing to understand why. I couldn't understand and why people or myself was so hooked on a drug. Hooked. See, because when I say addiction, people instantly feel like, oh my gosh, she was a huge addict. No, my addictions was more my behaviors, more my thinking, more of the things that I did. And I went back and forth because this was a learned behavior. I became a product of my environment. I grew into that like-mindedness of everyone that I was surrounded by, who made me think that what I was living was okay. And I went back and forth because in my heart of hearts, spiritually, I always knew it wasn't okay. But my environment made it okay. So I battled between me not knowing and an environment making it okay.
Okay. That makes sense, because I know you know that Pastor Powell used to be on cocaine daily. Daily, Pastor Powell did that. And it was more for me coping with the life that was going on around me. And then one day it's like I just woke up. I just woke up. I remember one time I was getting high with my plate, and I was listening to Kurt Franklin, Love. My cousin came in the door and he says, "You need to cut that off." I said, "Well, first of all, I can't hide nothing from God. So I don't see the purpose of, subtracting God from what I'm doing, because I can't hide what I'm doing, But it took a lot of little things to kind of happen from that moment that I was listening to Kurt Franklin, that plate being in my hand, and things to just kind of progress into, no, this ain't what I want to do, and this is not the type of people that I want to be around, and this is not how I see myself, and I have no idea how I got here. I remember the first time I even did a drug. It was because I wanted to be curious about somebody else and what they were doing. And I look at that whole incident saying, that drug could have been anything. But because I wanted to fit in, I'm grateful that it was just cocaine. You feel what I'm saying? It could have been anything. Me just wanting to fit in. When I'm so out of the box.
Right.
So do you think that's how you got to the drugs in your life, just wanting to fit in?
Nope. It had nothing absolutely to do with fitting in. It had everything to do with knowledge of the situation.
Okay.
Used drugs. I needed to know why my dad used drugs. I needed to know why things. What was the hype about? What is all the hype about? And I did drugs, and the first time I did it, I couldn't understand it. So I did it again. Couldn't understand it, because I'm like, this high ain't that deep. This high ain't that deep that people are leaving their kids. People are doing the things that I was subjected to as a child. For me, it wasn't that deep. But I kept getting high. But I kept chasing. But I kept going, because what I was searching for was never inside what I was searching for.
Yeah, it never is.
For me, you just shared a story. Yes. So I remember being high one night, and my brother's a pastor, and I called him because he was doing some outreach work, and I felt as if he wasn't doing the work I needed him to do for the family. And I'm high out my mind. And I believe that God did that so that I could see myself. I would have never been able to see myself had I not gone through the things that I've gone through. I had to go back and forth with the drugs. So that when I see myself, I can understand myself. See, he took me through the lesson before he gave me the plan.
And then he gave you
I had to go back and forth.
But then he gives us the sight beyond sight, because now, since I know I lived that life, and someone comes into my life, oh, I see you. I see you. That's who I used to be.
Mm-hmm. I see you. And that's the problem that a lot of people, I have discrepancies with people because of that. Because it was such a vision that was revealed and given to me. The show really has nothing to do with nobody else. When I say you see me, that's exactly what I mean. You see me. I see you. You see me. We are all alike, made in one image. One image. So you see me. Why do I have to hide the fact that I did drugs? Okay, and you see me. And I'm not the only person that, because go ahead.
The key is to be authentic enough to just be yourself, because I don't have to please you. Yeah. I have to be pleasing to myself.
Right.
I don't have to, why am I catering and people pleasing to the extent that I'm not even acknowledging who I am as an individual? Your life is more important than mine. No. So sorry to tell you that I see myself.
And that is the reason why I went back and forth in the same circle, because I was looking for myself in outside sources. I was looking for myself instead of seeing myself. I'm looking for something that I couldn't even see. You understand? I'm out here searching for myself and don't even see myself. So I'm doing all of these different things and with all of these different people trying to find out who Tina is instead of just seeing a person standing in the mirror. And I had to accept, yes, I went back and forth. Yes, why return to pain once released from it? There's no turn back for me. There's no turn back. When
but
I was
this is a past question. That's past question because you did go back. You know, when you were released from it, you still went back, just like I did. You know, I'm not gonna do it, and then I
was not released. Nope. So you're not released. That's a false reality of being released.
I'm gonna give you a little tidbit on spirituality. Whenever you say a prayer, the prayer has been answered. It's already been answered, right? So let's say you went to God and said, God, I no longer want to do whatever this drug is anymore. God is saying yes and amen right then. Ooh, okay. So in the midst of it, you go to bed at night. Okay. You wake up the next morning. That day is void. There's nothing going on in that day but the decisions that you make. That's every day of our lives. Nothing is happening until we decide to allow it to happen. So that is how much power God has given us in each and every day of our lives. You know, and we passed it. We want to shift our own decisions to make them seem and feel good for us. But we are the only ones we are the alphas and omegas of our own life. Like, I didn't have to wake up and pick up the phone and call the person from yesterday that upset me, or I didn't have to wake up and go to my homegirl house where I know they drinking. I didn't have to do those things anymore. And it was a decision because within me, I am done. How many people do you
choices?
Know,
so that was one of my choices and acceptance. Those were two of my topics on my show. And, you know, someone said, why go back after you're released? I feel it's not that I was released. I could sit here right now and say, oh God, I feel as if I'm free from addiction today because I'm not using today. But am I released from it? No, I'm not released from it. I have accepted it and I have made a choice. I have owned my choice. I have accepted my choice and I choose me today. It doesn't mean I'm released from the pain. It means I choose to be free from the pain. I'm never released from it. Because the minute that I choose to pick it back up is right there waiting for me. So you're never fully released. You're just have grown to a space of acceptance, grown to a space of ownership, grown into a space of I choose not to go back and forth. I own me today. Because I could be back in bondage as quick as I allow my mindset to go right back.
We'll be right back after this break. Tina, thank you.
Joy comes in the morning. A 90-day devotional. Presented by Dr. Vanessa Blackwell and 89 phenomenal co-authors. Evangelist Kimberly Babers is an educator, published author, and a retired United States Army service member. She believes in the empowerment of people through the Word of God, kingdom living, and the power of prayer. Connect with her on Facebook, KIMBERLY BABERS. The Warrior Within. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. Psalm chapter 34, verse 19. Looking back over my life, there have been many adversities and difficult times. Adversity comes in many shapes and forms. Unexpected hindrances, disappointments, roadblocks, and setbacks, which God often used to test my faith. Many
Greetings, I'm Larita, host of So What's the Problem TV show. It airs Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. I conduct interviews and I spread awareness. If you follow my page, you'll get the notifications and you will never miss an episode. A cheerful heart is good medicine and laughter is good for the soul. Thanks for watching.
All right, we are back in, and I want to give my tip for today to always be mindful that the day, every day that we wake up, is void. Our day is full of decisions. Holding ourselves accountable for each and every decision and not passing the buck is the best thing that we can do. All right, Tina, tell us about what is a recovery counselor? What do you do?
Help people recover. Help people recover what's already within them, what's already there, because we can sit and we can drill things into people. We could read as many books and as many TV shows and articles out there, but until it's in you, it's just a waste. So I like to get people, you have to see yourself. You have to own who you are, whether you like it or not.
And I will tell you, a lot in my life I did not like people. That's just telling the truth. Once I looked at the decisions that I was making, I could not say, oh, Lisa did it and Mark did it and Jacob, Jacob had something to do with it too. I had to say, no, Latiska, it was just you. You were the only person that was allowing and accepting certain things in your life. And getting to that space of, I love me, whether you love
They're
me.
Your choices, your decisions.
Yeah, I love me enough to make myself happy. I love me enough to be honest with other people. I love me enough not to talk behind people's back because I know that energy comes back to me. I understand energy. I understand, I truly understand a lot of things on a spiritual level that I don't think a lot of people are conscious of, Like what you put out, you actually get back. And I don't care what you put out. The universe, God does not care. If you put out ill, guess what? You're going to receive it back. If you put out good, guess what? You're going to receive it back. So being mindful of how you think, how you speak, and how you interact with other people. Our largest mission here on this planet is to reflect God at all times. If you're not holding a holy, godly conversation about love and inspiring somebody, I don't know what you're talking about. And I cannot be around you. I choose not to be around you because my mind is a space that is a treasure to me. And it took me a long time. I used to be a gossiper. I used to be a person that had something to say about everything. And for me to break those programs, those generational things that I had been taught, it took me years to do that. And I'm not going to allow somebody to just come into my presence and snatch me out of my reality. No, I guard my mind. I guard my ears and I guard my presence around. I really have to watch who I'm around because everybody is not in that same mental space. People believe in evil. They believe in witches and all kind of stuff. I just believe in God. I'm under the God spell.
Right.
I only believe in good, but other people believe in other things. To be God be the glory of all. But I have to guard myself. Now, tell us a tip from your counseling.
It's so funny you say that. What's a tip? Mm-hmm. A good tip is find something that you don't like about yourself. I don't like my arms. So I intentionally wear my arms out all summer so that I can learn to accept them. So I take the things that I don't like about myself and I put them first. I put them right in the forefront of my face so that I could see them, so that other people could see them, so that I can accept them.
Okay, learning to accept your image.
So that would be my
image that God made me. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a good
not
one.
Even so much your image. I don't like the fact that I raise my voice sometimes when I'm adamant about what it is that I'm saying, or I talk with my hands. I don't like that either, but I still do it to learn to accept it. It's a part of my mental health. The escalation and decline in the tones and textures of you got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. So I just accept everything about me. I don't care no more. I do care. So let me be clear. I do care. And because I care, I accept it.
Amen. And I'm going to tell you how I worked through that. I had a problem with my body. But when I moved into my apartment by myself, I had never lived by myself. I was had to live with my mom, then I had children and took care of my children, my grandchildren. So I finally moved into a home by myself, and I realized I didn't like the way I looked. So I would walk around the house all day naked. I had a full mirror that I would just stand in front of the mirror and say, I am made in the image of God. Everything about me I love. Now, I remember those times I would look in that same mirror, in mirrors, and dislike what I saw. I need to fix this, or let me fix my nose, and let me, worried about what I look like. But the only person that was really bothered with how I looked was me. Everybody else could accept me, but I couldn't accept myself. So it took me to get in front of a mirror naked. Baby, I did this for about 31 days until I just got comfortable with this is who I am, and you could take me or it's over. I take me, I accept me, so you have to accept me or leave me alone. Not a cookie.
And when I said it's not only images, I did that with a lot of areas of my life. For those who don't know, I have a 23-page criminal rap sheet. And it took me a long time to accept that this was me. This was me doing these crimes. This was me in and out of jail, in and out of this. So I went, I requested a copy of that, and I took every single page and taped it to my wall. Wow. In my office that I had in my old place. But I looked at it every single day and read the charges, the date, the time. They spell it all out for you. That was me. That was me. And I had to accept that. And that was my way of accepting the things that I have done. You got to put them right in the front of your face. You could sugarcoat it, you could doll it, you could dress it up, but you got to own it.
That's right.
You don't have to like it. I never said you got to like it. You just got to own and accept it.
I was going to say this.
I said this thing still I don't like about Tina. Do I like Tina? Nope.
I can say this when in my earlier years, I was a very angry little girl because I think I told you I was adopted. And so just going from house to house to house, not feeling wanted, not feeling loved. And oh my God, I was so angry, baby. I fought everybody. I just had anger issues. I had displaced anger issues because I would take it out on people that I knew couldn't even defend themselves. It was like a little bullying. You know, I knew they couldn't even defend themselves. And ended up in a horrible relationship, a toxic relationship. Why? Because Latiska was toxic and she had attracted another toxic person. And so that toxicity came together and did what it had to do. You know, all the fighting and the arguing and the in and out of jail. I've been to jail 3 times for aggravated assault. And by the grace of God, do you know all of those charges were dropped? You understand what I'm saying? I had to go into the cell, and then I get to the courtroom, and everything is dropped. Everything is dismissed. But I had to go through it to understand this ain't what I want to do. This is not the life for me. You know, to see that holding cell, that's a shock out of this world for anybody. You can think you're a bully if you want to. You get up in that holding cell, you're going to know you'll be humble. You'll be a humble spirit. This ain't where you want to be.
Yep.
All right. Gotta go now. I want to see you guys back in the flow tomorrow. Have a beautiful, blessed, amazing day.